밭은 여기. 한국은 분명 너에게 새로운 영감을 줄 거야.
이런 한국, 와보지 않고는 모를걸?
Coming up on Arirang News. Aiming to solidify South Korea's bid for a major nuclear energy project and to seek a nuclear power alliance with the Czech Republic, President Yoon will visit Prague after the Chuseok holiday next Thursday. North Korea fired multiple short-range ballistic missiles on Thursday morning for the first time in more than 2 months. This comes less than 24 hours after sending trash balloons over the border. We delve into the regime's intentions. Amid concerns over a potential healthcare crisis, the government unveils a set of measures including opening around 8,000 hospitals and clinics daily. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo added that there is no need to worry about a medical system collapse. Thank you for joining us on Arirang News. I'm Kim Bo-kyung. We start with President Yoon's trip to the Czech Republic right after the Chuseok holiday next Thursday. This follows South Korea's consortium recently chosen as the preferred bidder for a nuclear power plant in Dukovany. Our top office correspondent Kim Do-yeon explains in detail.
Nuclear Power Alliance. A new term was coined as the top office prepares for President Yoon Suk-yeol's official visit to the Czech Republic starting next Thursday. This trip comes as last July, the Czech government chose Korea Hydro and Nuclear Power as the preferred bidder to build 2 nuclear power units in Dukovany, a project worth 24 trillion Korean won, or about 17.3 billion US dollars.
The President, during this official visit to the Czech Republic, will convey Team Korea's firm commitment to the successful completion of the nuclear power plant project and will actively engage in sales diplomacy as the nation's #1 salesman to secure the contract. Especially, a nuclear power alliance between South Korea and the Czech Republic is expected to be established through this visit.
The 4-day visit will start with an official welcoming ceremony in Prague and a summit with Czech President Petr Pavel with an official dinner banquet. On Friday, he will meet with Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala and visit the city of Pilsen to visit nuclear power production companies. Coming back to Prague with the Prime Minister, Yoon will sign MOUs for various fields, including trade, investment, and advanced technology. He will also meet with the leaders of both chambers of the Czech Parliament. And as he always does, he will meet with overseas nationals in the region for dinner. This trip has been much anticipated after the preferred bidder announcement that paves the way for more cooperation in advanced technology. In fact, for this trip, the pre-trip briefing was attended by the President's Senior Secretary for Science and Technology, something unprecedented and seemingly a move to highlight more cooperation in science and technology.
We intend to use this nuclear power collaboration as an opportunity to initiate full-scale scientific and technological cooperation between South Korea and the Czech Republic. First, we plan to resume the Korea-Czech Joint Committee on Science and Technology, which has been inactive for some time, elevate the status of the chief representatives to the Director General level, and formalize regular meetings every 2 years.
The Czech Republic is also known for its manufacturing capacities, especially in automobiles. More than 100 companies from South Korea are already operating in the country, and to enhance economic exchanges, the two nations are set to sign a trade and investment promotion framework during this trip. Also, the two are set to discuss cooperation in helping Ukraine amid the prolonged invasion by Russia, as Czech companies have extensive experience in working in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Yoon will also be accompanied by a business delegation made up of officials from more than 50 South Korean companies, from conglomerates to small businesses. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
North Korea resumed its missile provocation this morning, having fired short-range ballistic missiles multiple times. And just last night, the regime floated more trash-carrying balloons. An Sung-jin explains its intentions.
North Korea on Thursday morning fired multiple short-range ballistic missiles toward the East Sea. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said they're analyzing the types and range of the missiles launched from the Pyongyang area. It added that the missiles flew approximately 360 kilometers before landing in the East Sea. The last time the North fired ballistic missiles was on July 1st, which Pyongyang said were successful test launches of a new type of tactical ballistic missile. The Joint Chiefs of Staff emphasized that North Korea's missile launch is a clear provocative act that seriously threatens the peace and stability of the Korean peninsula, and said they remain on high alert for potential additional launches.
The short-range ballistic missile provocation may have been a backlash against our recent joint exercises or could be a test for export to Russia.
South Korea's foreign ministry said the U.S. and Japan will also continue to closely monitor the possibility of additional launches and respond firmly to North Korea's threats through a strong South Korea-U.S. alliance and trilateral security cooperation. An official at the Unification Ministry also stated that at a time of urgent recovery from flood damage, the provocations demonstrate the falsehood of the regime's propaganda, while a professor suggests that these provocations hint at North Korea's ambitions.
Kim Jong-un proclaimed that North Korea is simply ready for another war, and especially they said that the top priority of the national goal is to reoccupy South Korea by the force. So I think this is one of their attempts to, in some sense, continue to ready for the war against South Korea.
North Korea's launch of ballistic missiles follows the sending of more trash-carrying balloons towards the south on Wednesday evening. However, most of those balloons were carried by the wind back north of the military demarcation line. Speculation is rising that this could hint at a return to provocations against the south, after trash balloons were sent for 5 consecutive days from September 4th until the 8th. Watchers also say the North may increase provocations ahead of the U.S. presidential election in November. An Sung-jin, Arirang News.
Staying on North Korea, the reclusive regime has reportedly resumed sending workers to China for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. According to U.S. media Radio Free Asia, 500 North Korean laborers were dispatched to Hunchun, a Chinese city bordering Russia and North Korea, towards the end of last month. South Korea's National Intelligence Service appeared to also have picked up on these activities, stating that it was monitoring the situation. If the report is true and Pyongyang is sending workers to China to earn valuable foreign currency again, as it has done in the past, this is a violation of the UN Security Council's resolution to impose sanctions on North Korea. Tae Yong-ho, the first North Korean defector to be elected as a politician in South Korea, is now the Secretary-General of the Peaceful Unification Advisory Council. This constitutional body advises the president on unification policy. Our Kim Jong-sil met with him to hear what he had to say with regard to the recent situation on the peninsula.
Tae Yong-ho's career has taken a route few could imagine. Formerly North Korea's deputy ambassador to the UK, he defected to South Korea in 2016 and made headlines in 2020 as the first defector elected as a lawmaker, winning a National Assembly seat in Gangnam-gu district. In July, he became the first North Korean defector to be named Secretary-General of the Peaceful Unification Advisory Council, which advises the president on unification policy.
The appointment as a Secretary-General of Peaceful Unification Advisory Council would give a very important message to North Korea that if Korea is reunified with freedom and democratic system, the future reunified Korea would not discriminate any person because of the background.
How has the mission of the council changed with the current geopolitical climate, with the North being very tough on us and refusing to talk to us?
First of all, I think my mission is to deliver to North Korean side that South Korean government as well as South Korean population do not wish or want any war or conflict with North Korea. And the second thing is denuclearization of North Korea. Now, North Korea's nuclear and missile capability is ever increasing. That's why the security, the framework on Korean Peninsula is getting more and more dangerous. The most effective and pragmatic way to stop the nuclear war on Korean Peninsula is to strengthen the ROK-US military alliance together with the help of Japan.
This week, around 740 council members stationed in the Americas visited Seoul for the first time since their appointment a year ago. As civil diplomats, they promote unification policy to the international community. What is the value of the council's work without reciprocation from the North, though?
Oh, yes, a very good question. So far, North and South has had a common point. The common point was reunification. South Korean government, together with the United States and the world community, tried very hard to bring a permanent peace by dialoguing with North Korean regime as a partner, but all approaches failed. So Yoon Suk-yeol government's new paradigm is that the dialogue is still open to North Korean regime, but the Yoon Suk-yeol government want to change, you see, the North Korean people's feelings, aspiration, and dream for reunification, and we want to encourage and inspire this dream.
Secretary-General Tae said freedom both brought challenges and opportunities. His own journey hopes to serve as a powerful call for those still in the North to envision a different future. Kim Jong-sil, Arirang News.
As concerns grow over medical service disruptions, detailed emergency care plans were unveiled today for the holidays. With that, the Prime Minister once again urged defiant doctors to join talks with the government. Chuseok brings the latest.
Prime Minister Han Duck-soo held a briefing on Thursday, announcing the plans for the emergency medical system during the Chuseok holidays. The government began running the Special Emergency Response System on Wednesday, and it will last for 2 weeks, including the Chuseok holidays.
The government started operating the Special Emergency Response System on September 11th, and it will run for 2 weeks until September 25th to ensure people spend their holidays safely.
During the period, around 8,000 hospitals and clinics will open each day nationwide. The government and the ruling People Power Party will provide financial support to help them continue their medical services during the holiday period. This support will enable the emergency medical centers to hire about 400 doctors and nurses to ensure they have enough staff. Also, over 150 hospitals for pregnancy and childbirth across the country will stay open throughout the holidays. To ensure proper care for critical patients, the government plans to increase service fees for specialists to 3.5 times the regular rate to reward them for working during Chuseok. They will also increase the number of medical staff like military doctors and support nurses. The government will deploy supervisors to 409 emergency rooms nationwide to monitor the situation daily. Furthermore, Prime Minister Han asked people with minor health issues to first visit local clinics rather than major hospitals. People can easily search for open medical facilities in the maps on major online platforms, or they can call 119 or 129 to quickly find available hospitals. The PM also thanked the public for supporting medical reforms.
All reforms are difficult, but healthcare reform is especially painful. For almost every job in the world, someone else can step in during emergencies, but no one can replace doctors in saving lives.
He also urged the medical community to join the proposed joint consultative body as soon as possible to address the current situation. However, despite the repeated calls, the doctors' organizations have not yet responded. Chuseok, Arirang News.
With Chuseok rapidly approaching, shoppers are looking for ways to save. Our correspondent Lee Soo-jin tells us how they can do so.
Shoppers in South Korea are scrambling to shop smart ahead of Chuseok, or the Korean Thanksgiving holiday. But the items on their shopping lists are going up in price.
Prices of food, especially fruits like apples, have gone up a lot.
The average cost to prepare ancestral rite table for Chuseok for a 4-person family rose 1.8% on year to 280,791, or around $209. But buying these items at traditional markets was surveyed to cost around $179, 17% cheaper than the $214 it would cost at large supermarkets. And shopping with onuri discount vouchers is a way to save even more at traditional markets. This Chuseok, the discounts have been up to 15%, and some traditional markets even offer vouchers if customers spend a certain amount. This means customers can purchase $100 worth of goods for $85 with the vouchers. One chicken stall vendor says that she's seen an uptick in onuri voucher usage thanks to the Chuseok measures.
Around 70% of purchases are made with onuri vouchers. For us vendors, this is great because they work like cash and attract more customers to shop here.
As for what you might find on a Chuseok ancestral rite table, meat like chicken, chestnuts, vegetables such as green onions, and seafood such as pollock were all surveyed to be cheaper at traditional markets than at large supermarkets this year. Consumers can also shop at farmers markets set up by district governments in Seoul to offer cheaper groceries and to support farms nationwide during the Chuseok holiday.
I come every year because the food here is fresh.
At this farmers market in Gangnam-gu district, popular Chuseok items are sold directly by around 80 farms nationwide for around 10% less than standard market prices. Despite the sweltering heat, these people have gathered since early in the morning, eager to buy fresh and affordable food to share with their families during the holiday.
By taking advantage of all these ways and places to save ahead of the Chuseok holiday, shoppers will be able to honor their ancestors without having to break the bank. Lee Soo-jin, Arirang News.
In other news, South Korean automaker Hyundai Motor and US-based firm General Motors have formed a partnership to build vehicles, develop clean energy technologies, and strengthen supply chains. On Thursday, the two automakers revealed that they signed a non-binding agreement to develop and produce internal combustion, electric and hydrogen-powered vehicles. They will also explore sourcing options for raw materials to make EV batteries. This marks the first time Hyundai Motor Group, the world's third largest automaker by global sales in the first half of 2024, has formed such a comprehensive partnership with a major overseas automaker. Both companies aim to reduce costs, increase efficiency, and offer a wider range of products through this collaboration. Over in Japan, high-level officials from South Korea, China, and Japan in charge of culture met on Thursday to expand cultural cooperation following tourism talks the previous day. Ahead of the trilateral meeting, also addressed was the recent controversy over Japan's Hado mine. Our culture correspondent Song Yoo-jin has a wrap-up.
2024 marks the 25th anniversary of trilateral cooperation between South Korea, China, and Japan, which began in 1999 with a breakfast meeting on the sidelines of the ASEAN Plus 3 summit. This year, the three countries are focused on deepening their cooperation through culture. On Thursday, representatives from the three nations gathered in Kyoto for the 15th South Korea-China-Japan Culture Ministers meeting. South Korea was represented by First Vice Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism Yong Ho-sung after Minister Yoo had to return to Seoul for a parliamentary questioning as the National Assembly had not approved his absence. China's Vice Minister of Culture and Tourism, Zhang Zheng, and Japan's Minister of Education, Culture, Sport, Science, and Technology, Moriyama Masahito, were also in attendance. The meeting resulted in two key documents. The Kyoto Declaration emphasizes the importance of cultural exchanges and cooperation to promote mutual understanding and to further strengthen trilateral relations. The three sides also signed a memorandum of cooperation to designate 2025 and 2026 as years of cultural exchanges.
We agreed on the importance of expanding cooperation beyond arts and culture to include sports and programs involving the future generations.
In the bilateral meetings that South Korea held with Japan and China ahead of the three-way talks, eyes were on the follow-up measures for Japan's Sado Island gold mines being listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The site has been a point of contention as Koreans were forced to work there during World War II under Japanese colonial rule.
We asked Japan to improve its exhibits at the Aikawa History Museum on the hardships faced by Korean laborers, as the current displays are mostly simple panels. We suggested making them more permanent and detailed. We also requested that senior Japanese officials attend the memorial ceremony for the mine laborers.
Simplifying visa issuance and entry processes with China was another key topic. Both sides agreed to initiate working-level talks involving the foreign and justice ministries to streamline these procedures.
Until now, we didn't have a regular framework for tourism cooperation with China, so we agreed to set up a regular high-level consultative body.
The meeting ended with a joint performance between opera singers of the three countries and Japan's multicultural orchestra ensemble Kanazawa Chamber Orchestra. Promising more cultural exchanges in the next 2 years and beyond, the three countries wrapped up their culture ministers meeting on Thursday. The trilateral meeting's 16th edition will take place in China next year. 송유진, Arirang News, Kyoto.
South Korea is facing rapid demographic changes. According to Statistics Korea on Thursday, households where the main breadwinner is aged 65 or older will surpass 10 million and account for over half of all households by 2052. And despite the shrinking population with the country's low birth rate, the number of households is increasing as more and more people choose to live alone. Average household size is projected to decline from 2.26 persons in 2022 to 1.81 persons in 2052. And the overall household count is expected to peak in 2042 and then decline due to a shrinking population. In K-pop news, girl group NewJeans addressed the ongoing internal conflict between HYBE and Adore, calling for the return of former Adore CEO Min Hee-jin. Yoon has the details.
K-pop artist NewJeans have strongly criticized HYBE, South Korea's largest K-pop agency. The group called for the return of the former CEO of its agency Adore, Min Hee-jin, by September 25th. Adore is a subsidiary of HYBE. On Wednesday afternoon, the 5 K-pop stars held a live broadcast titled What NewJeans Wants to Say on its newly created YouTube channel NWJNS instead of an existing official YouTube account.
We were just working hard for our dreams, so what did we do wrong? Our CEO is being mistreated, and HYBE seems like just an inhumane company.
Min Hee-jin is no longer the CEO of Adore, having been replaced at a board meeting held at the end of August. To this, Min had said that Adore decided she would keep producing for NewJeans without discussing it with her, and that the board's decision to remove her as CEO was against her will. NewJeans, who have a strong bond with Min, often referred to as the group's mom, also clearly stated that they do not want to follow the new management at HYBE and Adore. I do not want to conform to, agree with, or follow the society they're part of. The dispute between HYBE and its subsidiary label Adore all started back in April, when HYBE said it will report Min Hee-jin to the police for breach of trust, claiming that she had made moves to seize control of the label. The conflict came to light when Min accused another HYBE subsidiary of plagiarism due to creative similarities between recently debuted girl group Islet and Adore's girl group NewJeans. Meanwhile, the next steps for the global K-pop stars remain uncertain, and HYBE has yet to provide an official response. Yoon, Arirang News.
Autumn rain is falling everywhere. Under heavy rain warning, the Seoul metropolitan area in Gangwon-do province will continue to see rain on and off until tomorrow afternoon. It will rain as much as 80 millimeters in the central parts of the country until tomorrow, and showers will pass over the Chungcheong-do provinces from tomorrow afternoon to night. The rain dampened the severe heat in the central parts of the country. In Seoul, the heatwave warning has been lifted and the temperature remained at around 27 degrees Celsius. However, the rain raises the humidity levels, so the feels-like temperatures will be higher than they actually are. Tomorrow, Seoul, Daejeon, and Daegu will start off at 25 degrees. Seoul will move up to 29, Gwangju, Daegu, and Gyeongju 34 degrees. Late heat of around 30 degrees is expected again during the Chuseok holiday. That's all for Korea. Here are the weather conditions around the world.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching. Arirang News will be back at 9 a.m. Korea time.
진짜 한국에선 어떻게 먹는지 알려줄까?
K-바비큐? 신김치랑 먹어야지.
치킨? 치맥 페스티벌은 처음이지?
김치? 종류만큼 먹는 법도 가지각색.
김밥? 시장에선, 산에선, 바다에선 이렇게.
국밥? 취향 따라, 입맛 따라.
이런 한국.